memories were made. Definitely that urge, that feeling to go back. Once our wallets refill.
Well, we did go to that collector's shop.
Oh, that's the next day.
That's the next day.
Okay.
Yeah. But how are we?
Well, we can if this needs to be a 3-parter,
Dude,
then
that's fine. That's totally fine.
So the first part will be Sony and Universal. Second part will be Disney. This last part will be the last
Friday
day.
night. Total improvement from Thursday.
Yes,
we were all equally satisfied and rested from this trip to Disneyland and Galaxy's Edge. Definitely a fun memory. It's actually something. If I was stuck in a Groundhog Day moment, like to wake up again and do.
Oh my
Eventually, I would go a little crazy, but it would just be
I would just ditch you guys and go on my own rides. I'd be like, you're on your own. Bye.
but Vinny, we didn't do the ride yet.
Nope, I'm going on Matterhorn, man. I'm going.
Then Vinny gets launched off the Matterhorn.
I got you, babe. Wake up the next day. Yeah.
All right, Astro Blast. Here we go.
Yeah. Experience the whole park. You're like preventing everything. But anyway, so initially before we went on this trip, I said the real money thief of this trip, was this collector's marketplace called Frankensons. For those of you that don't know, it's kind of right next to the mall from Back to the Future.
That's where we went first.
Yeah. Went to Twin Pines Mall.
Insert pictures of the Twin Pines Mall sign.
Yeah, so we went inside. It was the last legs of that mall. So Puente Hills Mall, if you haven't gone there, we recreated shots from the parking lot scene.
Doc!
Yeah. Vinny has Doc.
I threw myself to the ground.
Yeah, Danny has Marty.
I still haven't seen that video. You have to send that to me.
Yeah, I did a little compare and contrast shots with the whole tire flame and all that. Other than that, we went there, but Frankensons. Oh my God. That was a tractor beam of like, hey, you guys survive Universal Disneyland. Here, yeah. But yeah, this was when like, okay, now we're really going to test your guys.
I remember just walking, you all looked at me like, uh-oh.
The beads of sweat coming off of Danny's forehead.
All the NECA, all the DVDs,
the hot toys.
Oh, man.
It was awesome.
All the pops. And of course, it's just like any other normal convention. Thank God there's no entry fee or anything like that. But that place gets really super busy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so, definitely avoid the last aisles that involve sports. We're just going to talk about things that we picked up from there. Mm-hmm. So I think... sorry, Vinny, you didn't get anything from there, so that's a Cliff Notes.
It's whatever.
So let's get to Danny here. So
since I'd never been there, I'm like, okay, I gotta be. I even had friends tell me who'd been there before, like, dude, I had a friend who spent $2,000 in there. Be careful. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look around first and see what grabs my attention. So. First thing I buy was this back corner vendor. He had this DVD booth. I'm like, okay, cool. What they got here? Joe was like, hey, Danny, boom. Special edition DVD of Dogma by Kevin Smith. And then like, oh, here. Clerks Animated's here. It's like, yes, I need both of you. And I picked those two up at that booth. And we're walking up and down the aisle. I was like, okay, this is really cool. Ooh, that Hot Toys Spider-Man looks really cool. Oh, there's Andrew. There was this... Okay, no, before I get that, there was this one booth near the beginning where they had like a bunch of like Japanese toys. So I see, of course, Monster Arts Godzilla figures, a bunch of like statues. And because I recently got into the Evangelion franchise, there's this tiny little Unit 2 model kit that I picked up near the end of the day. So like, okay, sweet, something else. It's either in the second or third row. We're walking down. I see this booth just like half filled with Godzilla stuff. Like, yes, this is my booth.
Closed.
No! They're right there.
They're right there.
Danny,
are they on lunch?
You see him like trying to like pull the gates open.
And I wasn't the only one. So many people stopped at that booth. Like, oh, I want to get in. And apparently those booth owners weren't there that day, so
yeah.
I think that was just God's way of telling me
no,
don't spend any more money.
Yeah, I got.
Like, but the Ava Kiryu figures, they're right
there. It was just hilarious though because the other guys looked kind of pathetic. You were just funny as hell.
Yeah, you were funny as hell. Yeah, they were like.
Yeah, the other guys.
So the perfect seeing how Danny was. Now imagine him as Dana Barrett, all dressed up in Ghostbusters 2, when Oscar's by the Vigo painting. You bastard! That was Danny right there.
that was Danny.
He wanted that Godzilla figure right there, but damn it, really, that person couldn't leave a sign like, "Hey, close or be back." I can imagine that some bitch coming back the last 2 hours when that place was. It's you son of a. But again, we had a rental to return, so it was okay, we got to get out of here. Yeah. So, Charles,
you were the first,
second booth we walked into.
Yeah. So going into this, I remember from the last time that we went to Frank and Sons how they had the Hot Toys Hulkbuster. And, as you guys know, the Power Loader and the Hulkbuster are my two most favorite things. You bring those up and it's you got my attention. And going into this, I'm okay, if I find one for a good price, I'm going to pull the trigger because I've been wanting a Hulkbuster for so dang long.
7 years.
And, yes. And so we go into this one booth. Dare I say the name of it? Or
I don't remember the name of it.
I remember it.
Oh, okay.
It was Toy Arena.
Okay.
And there's a reason why I remember the name. Yeah. So as we're walking up on the outside, I see the Hot Toys Hulkbuster. And I was like, oh, and I'm just in reverence of it, and everyone else is laughing. And so then we walk in, and I see the 3-0 Hulkbuster, and I was like, okay, that one maybe. And so I said, how much is it? And they ask amongst each other, and they're like, $250. I'm like, sold. Because
no hesitation.
Because I've seen this darn thing sell out, and then people charge $500, $600, $700 for the darn thing. So I'm like, $250. That's going rate. I'm like, I'll take it. And
they just want it out of there.
Yeah. And so I get it, and everything. I'm just I'm stoked. I don't care.
That was it.
Yeah. I'm just carrying it. Yeah.
He was babying.
Oh yeah. I was babying. Yeah. But then the reason why I remembered that darn place is because we went back. We went back later.
Yeah, we went back so I could get my little Ava model kit because it's the same booth. You got your Hulkbuster. I go in to buy my thing.
Yes.
It wasn't you, but somebody either tried to run out of there or did run out of there.
They did run out of there.
And all of a sudden,
Yes. So what happened was me and Sabrina, we hung back while I think the rest of you guys went in, and it was it was packed by now. Yeah. And I start to walk in behind Sabrina, and we barely get inside the opening, and it's so packed in here. All right, heck, Sabrina's this is too busy. And we both kind of said at the same time, let's get out of here. Yeah. And so I immediately turn around, start to walk out. I see this kid run out, or not really a kid, but you know what I'm saying. This young man run out. And right at the same time as I start to walk out, and you hear the alarm go off, and I'm like, oh, I know it's not me, so whatever. And I just walk and I step back outside of the entryway there, and it's me and Sabrina are there, and we start to talk, and all of a sudden I hear this, sir, and I'm like, I just kind of I glance up, and I'm like, who the heck? And he keeps saying, sir, and I'm like, I look over, and he's staring right at me, and I'm like, I just kind of go
clerk was asking you to come back in.
And he says, could you come back in here, please? I'm I look at him like, you motherfucker, I just bought a $250 fucking Hulkbuster.
You don't remember me?
You don't remember me? And I go back up there. And I walk up to it, and I'm like, you've seen me this whole time. I haven't passed off anything. I walk back through the thing, the gate.
Yeah.
And I'm just staring at him. I wave my bag through it. I'm just looking at him, and he's just kind of he still has that look on his face, but he's like, okay,
should have made you come back in here and be like, hey, how many toys we could fit in that bag?
Right? Yeah. There was a part of me after we left that thought, I was like, I should have fucking demanded an apology from him, because it's dude, you fucking did that. Yes, I'm pissed off about this because I actually looked up their damn store and I was tempted to write to them and be like, you know what,
Yelp review.
Yes, because I'm not expecting
half
to be
half the star for the Iron Hulkbuster.
I'm not expecting to be babied here or anything like that. But at the same time, I'm like a little respect at the very least. Okay, I'm sorry, sir. I was wrong. I just a simple I'm sorry. I'd have been fine. But you still you couldn't have have the balls to say, "Hey, I'm sorry." After I spent $250 in your store, and I was the one that you dealt with. Okay, rant over.
Okay, calm.
Yeah,
Sun's getting low.
Yeah, there was a couple things, but Sabrina, I knew there was a.
Yeah. Okay.
So we all had this little bet, all right, who's gonna fall into what? Vinny won that one, so here, you props to that one. You won, not buying anything there. But not a bet. It was just kind of who's gonna fall prey to Frank and Sons, who's gonna buy something. Because this one over here, Sabrina, Joe's gonna buy something. I do that whole kind of next and all that shit, But Sabrina, there was probably 3 pop places that you were okay. Well, what was?
Yeah, pops. That's something that I haven't collected in a while, but I'm excited that I got 2 new ones there.
But what did you pick up from there?
So, the first one that I picked up, I had my eye on. Well, okay. So I guess backstory for the listeners, I used to work on Halo, and so lately I've been into collecting the Halo pops. And so I had my eye on the clear one for a long time. And so I found that. That was the first one. And then we keep on walking, and at this time, it was just me and Charles. And so I look at the glass
wall.
it was like a glass case. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, Charles, there's a Spider-Man one.
It's the Avengers Campus Spidey one.
Yeah, I hear her say that. I look over and she's just almost face against the glass. She's like, "This is the one." I'm like, "The one what?"
the nerdy steroid injected into Sabrina.
There it is.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I had to wait for Will to come back. I was like, Will, is this the one?
Yeah. You need a confirmation.
Yeah.
That's the web one.
So I got that. I'm very, very happy.
Now you just need to get the Iron Man one.
I'm surprised it wasn't in there.
I know.
Yeah.
Who's the son bitch who took it? No. It was the clerks that stopped Charles. But yeah.
Some bitch.
But was there anything else? So you got the Master Chief and you got Spider-Man.
Was it.
That was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Her and Vinny got out of there easy.
Yeah, you guys got out of there easily.
I was sad though that I didn't end up with anything. There was actually There was 2 things I really wanted. For one, they had the Stormbreaker, or not Stormbreaker. They had the Mjolnir from Love and Thunder. I love that version of the hammer. I've messed with it before, and it's just a really great toy prop. But I'm staring at the thing. I'm like, for $130, 1, I could just get it from anywhere on the internet. 2, why would I fucking bring this thing home right now? So I'm just like, let me just wait and see the rest of the shop. There was 2 things I wanted. 1, Joe got. And 2...
I mean, you can if you want to.
No. But the other one, I saw this, and I really wish I went back for it. I regret not picking it up because it was super cheap for $150, and I'm mad I never got it. It was the actual Willy Wonka bar and the golden ticket from the film.
Oh, that one.
Oh, I don't
It
remember
was-
seeing.
it was-
No, it was in the cases, right?
It was it was in a shadow box for $150. I sat there. I was like, "That's the one." And I'm a little bit heartbroken that I didn't walk away with anything there because I really wanted something cool.
And that's the whole thing about when you're walking by those stores. You're kind of like, "Oh, I'll come back to it." And then when you're kind of in a time crunch, you're like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah.
It happens too when you go to a grocery store and you walk out. You're like, "Oh, damn, I didn't walk out with a toothpaste."
I know.
It happens. So of course, speaking of the Cantono,
Camtona.
Camtono.
I think it's
Camtono. So the Cantono case, of course, it's in the shitty sports aisles.
And I found it. Like, I eyeballed it. I'm like, Joe, look.
No, I saw that first. Thank you very much. That's why I claimed
I remember you were looking for that thing, and when we saw
I wasn't really looking for it. It was rare. It was like right up, perched up,
because they were
right,
sold out at Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge and online, and it's like what the Rancor, like the flights. It's sold out, and it was right there. And I'm like, this the clerk who had it there, I'm like, this lady has it for like on sale for like $95 or $100, and I'm like, hell with that. So we walk up there. Hey, how much are you selling that? Like, and she was just kind of like, about to make up a price and all that. I think it's 50. Cha-ching! Camera went to my head, being like, "Oh, what a sucker here!" And I'm like, like, and I'm like, come on, like, please, let's do it. And like, she's asking like her deadbeat son, whose mind's fixed on a game and is not even talking to her, and it was like, how much was your dad selling this? And so
I heard that conversation.
And so the lady, she's like, okay, I think it's like $50 because she walked up there. And again, I was like, fuck, here it comes. Like $84 or, $100. Comes back down. No, it's 50 and all that.
Mine.
Again, this is where the sitcom show pauses. Turn to the camera and go like. Everyone turns back to real time. Yeah. And so here it comes. She hands in the thing, and I'm like. I'm like, monocle. Yeah, we'll put that in there. Of course, God, I hate AZ Federal Credit Union with their Zelle thing. So you have to like add the person's contact info before you send money out. And of course, this was like kind of taking like 15 minutes, and I'm like, fuck, the guy's gonna come back here and he's gonna see it. Like, come on, bitch, like, hurry up, hurry the fuck up, and all that. And, like, bitch, be cool, let's go. Transaction complete. All right, sir. Hey, thank you. Have a good one. I'm like, let's go. So like we freaking bolted from there because I'm like, the guy's gonna come back, being like, so what'd you sell? The Cantomo? For how much? And like dun 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 dun. Start the car.
You got the keys, Joe.
There's a shake in the car, John.
So we walk out there finally with the ice cream case and all. There was one bald guy. He was like, "Where'd you get that from?" I went like, "Over there." And so the other things that I picked up, I mean, that was kind of like the big prize because again, that's a rare like piece.
Have you like messed with it now? Do you have it unlocked?
No. So the batteries are dead.
Oh.
In there. So I guess they were fiddling when they bought that thing, and the thing was dead because we pulled out the little tab, and we're like trying to. Oh, it's dead.
I tried it as a take.
I don't know. Maybe.
Probably 2, 3 AA's
or triple A's.
Yeah.
So.
They're probably using those cheapo batteries that just ruptured over
No,
time.
exactly. And so, of course, there was a couple booths that were cool. Finally found the Jack Toonie Terrors American Werewolf.
Oh yeah, I picked that up at Target the other day. I was like, yes! I still need the Kessler Wolf. That's the only thing I'm missing is the NECA Kessler Wolf.
Yeah, I mean,
I know they were there, but I was just like, I can get that back home.
I was gonna say no. That booth that accepted cash only, they were cheap. I saw the Amanda Ripley from Alien Isolation, and I was like,
Oh.
I was kind of like keen to get that one too, and it was like they had the Colonial Marines, like the pulse rifle. I kind of wanted to buy that and put it with Amanda Ripley. Like that's the fucking sequel right there.
There you go.
Ripley Jr.
We turn Alien Isolation to an action game. What else? Picking up from there,
And of course, that booth I wanted to go to is cash only as well. So while you were like, I think it was you and Vinny went to go off like buy some extra stuff. We're sitting there. I'm keeping my eye on that booth. Like,
Yeah.
and there was like a line of like 3 or 5 guys like waiting for it to be open.
Yeah.
I was kind of like keen to go like, is this place going to open? Do you guys know, or just you guys are just waiting?
So there was one booth I went into that was the last one, and they had a bunch of old toys. Some of them were discarded and just broken up. And I look up at the entranceway, and hanging above me is Stormbreaker out of the box, and I'm like, And so I asked them, how much is that? And they go, oh, it's 130, but if you follow us on Instagram, 30% off discount. So I checked it out. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, nah, for loose out of the box for like only $100. No. I want that brand new.
You didn't necessarily walk away like empty-handed because there was something from our childhoods that was actually there, and it was so in old McDonald's they would have Ronald McDonald on a bench, and it was just like a little. In the early 90s, like a photo opportunity, and
insert picture here.
Yeah, and so
do I have that picture?
Yeah.
You'll send it.
Yeah, I sent it.
And I sent this little funny picture to JD, and it was a nod to Clerks, the animated series, but it was the mayor with a hamburger.
Oh yeah,
and then the Grimace was right there, and I'm kind of like making a little video, like nothing could kill the Grimace, and So, Frankensons, I think whenever you, just to wrap that part up, whenever you're about to leave California, definitely make a trip to Frankensons.
I'll have to try and convince my family. Hey, let's stop here really quick before we leave.
I think it's. I mean, you're about to leave, like on the outskirts. It's like
it's
too far.
it's fantastic to view.
Yeah,
And also be sure and check out the Puente Hills Mall because that mall is starting to kind of look
It's
a
about to
little.
close,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
again, kind of like with Bill.
That's
and
a treasure.
Ted,
Oh yeah.
it will be history soon. But we were there, so scratch that off the bucket
Scratch
list.
it off the list.
And me and Danny were able to reenact that whole scene.
Yeah,
from
that
Back
was
to the Future.
Yeah, you guys did a good job on that.
Yeah.
With how many times I've watched that movie over the years, that scene is just burned into my brain.
I think it's burned to all of our brains.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We were there. I mean, the little steep hill and
That's
everything.
like you said it was steep, but like actually walking up and down, it's like
Okay, yeah.
grab
we-
the tree for support.
We weren't kidding when we said it was
Yeah,
steep.
we were about to fall. But of course, like good things, it all must come to an end for now. But after that trip, it was the ride back home. And anything else you guys want to add to that, or
I mean, you go ahead, Dan.
I don't think so. I mean, the ride back was a lot smoother than the ride there.
Yeah.
oh yeah, it was.
I'm like passed out in the back seat, holding on to Joe's ice cream bucket.
Oh yeah, that's right. Here, you can hold over now.
I'm
Enjoy
just
it while I
I'm just
can.
over there.
Yeah.
But after, real quick though, after our trip, I got up the next day, put on my Jedi robes, and brought my lightsaber to Tombstone, Arizona, where I got to meet my good friend, Little Miss Marshall, and her.
Likes you a lot.
He does.
He was talking in his sleep.
Shut up. Just shut up. But I gotta say this though, when we were shut your face, what the
Just finish your story so we can get this done.
anyways, so Tombstone, Arizona, fantastic.
Awesome,
we all
anyway.
we all need to go. The 5 of us need to go in our Ghostbusters gear. We just have to.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
a cool
Real-
place to visit.
Real Ghostbusters did an episode.
Yes.
Did
they?
they?
Yes.
So-
They faced off against Doc Holliday and his pals
cool.
as ghosts.
Wyatt Earp and all. And
Yeah.
so-
Okay.
We got to do it.
I'm not driving though.
All right. Is there anything else, Sabrina, you'd like to add?
When we made our lightsabers, we look at the very end.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So,
This is a cute.
Since we
moment.
both did, the 3 of us, me, Charles, and Sabrina, we did protection and defense, and I want to try and go for like an Anakin, like Luke style lightsaber. I was like going back and forth between like the classic like Luke Anakin emitter or like the Episode 6 Luke Obi-Wan emitter, which is like the flat circle one. I settled on the Anakin Luke inspired one. So we get finished. The gatherer like messes with it, make sure it's all working. He had to like either replace the chassis or one of the pieces, I forget which, but works all good now. Puts it down. I look over to Sabrina and we have the exact same pieces,
Yeah.
piece for piece on the hill. The same exact pieces. The only way you can tell it's different is because I had green, she had blue. That's the only
Yep.
difference between the 2 hills.
not planned at
No,
all.
like
Not
I
planned.
wasn't trying to watch what anyone was doing. I was like, okay, what this
Yeah,
piece?
yeah.
What that piece?
Because I look over at you guys and you guys were like focused on your own thing, and then when that happened, because I looked back over, I was like, wait, those
'Cause
look identical.
I heard a yelp from Sabrina. Well, we did the exact same thing.
yeah,
and all that, and I like what the
insert aw here.
I said, "Oh, AWE."
Ooh, that's better.
It just cracks me up because Danny's over here recording the video and he's just blind building his
Well, not
saber.
blind building, but like half my attention's on making sure you guys are in frame. Half my
Right.
attention's on like building the saber.
But it's like you were channeling the Force through Sabrina and you just happened to match the saber.
I don't know. I just really like the look.
It's a dyad in the Force.
unseen for generations.
Joe, I think I found the new attachment for your lightsaber.
What?
Oh yeah, I saw that one. The one with the Tusken Raider.
Oh yeah, the gaffy end.
The
piece.
Gaffy. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty bomb. That's pretty.
There's so many like both machined and 3D printed pieces you can get on Etsy. They're like, ooh,
I want a machined Ecto like Ghostbusters.
I'm
Neutron
surprised that
ones.
doesn't exist already.
I know, it's a little weird.
Is there? Yeah. So
Yeah,
Charles,
anything
is there
else?
anything you want to add to it?
Just that it was an awesome experience. I'm glad I got to share it with all of you guys.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So it was great.
Time to play for next year.
Yeah. I think about the only thing is that we definitely do need to plan a little more time
Yes.
for it. We
2
did
days of
crunch
Disney.
it. We did crunch it a
Yes.
bit.
Yeah.
So,
Oogie,
but otherwise,
Oogie Boogie's
yeah.
Bash is definitely.
I've heard like
Oh,
even my mom was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing that again next year."
And it's definitely a very popular event. It does sell out
Because it's
very,
better
very
than Mickey's
quick.
Not So Scary Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney. heard that
What
shit.
did you say? It's fine. It's just.
It's fun for the adults
boring.
too. So there you go.
But Oogie Boogie Bash, it sounds like that one's the one.
That's the one to go to. Our friends Rachel and Jory, they said it's like one of the best experiences ever. That's definitely one you all had to endure.
Cool.
So.
We definitely, this group here is definitely the alteration of fanboys.
Oh yeah,
And
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I will not forget this experience. I will not forget the moments, and more importantly, 2 more days of Disney. Like we just need 2 days of Disney. That's it.
2 days is like the perfect
Yeah.
like amount of time. Like you can break up your time both days for both parks. You can just get so much more done with 2 days. I mean, granted, we did as much as we could in one day, but even
Yeah.
still,
And definitely get your Genie plus,
It was
your,
worth
your
it.
Fast Pass, everything.
because we also got access to the pictures for free.
Yeah,
Right.
that was one of the
Yeah.
best things
Yeah.
about it.
True.
So, but hopefully they improve the UI though, because it definitely needs an overhaul.
Yes, and
Well, now with the
hopefully
new Magic
the
Band
Magic
Plus,
Bands.
they probably have to update all that.
Oh yeah, they do.
Well, yeah, there's
At
definitely going
4
to be
days
some
later.
database updates for sure.
I wish we got
Man.
ours.
I wish we could have gotten our Magic Bands. Like they were
Yeah.
available while we were
Yeah.
there for annual key
That's
holders
basically
only.
fate telling you this, just
Yeah.
to flip us all
Like
off.
literally, like as of this recording, 3 days ago, it was made available for public purchase.
Oh, they did finally?
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
to
26
Disney.
is when you could have bought them for
Yeah.
just anyone.
Well, we'll see what kind of designs there
There's
are.
some really cool ones.
Right.
I like
they
the Haunted
do.
Mansion one.
The Haunted
I
Mansion
really
one.
hope for your sake the Tron one will
Yeah,
work.
so they pulled it, and they're so they're coming. I did follow a couple pages, and they're saying that they're saving it when the Tron ride opens up at Disney World. So
That's
again,
next year, right?
That's going to be spring. So
So we're making a trip to Disney World.
Hopefully.
Ooh, yeah, I'm down.
That's definitely something worth going
So,
to.
so the Tron ride is only going to be at Disney World.
As
Yes.
far as we
Uh,
know,
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's also the baby right there because I'm a huge Tron nut.
Yep.
Oh,
Jeff
yeah.
Bridges is the shit, and Bruce Boxleitner, and
I fight for
All
the
them.
users.
fuck yeah, Rinsler. So anyway, I mean, we went for how long? For like
2
almost
hours, 45 minutes, and 11 seconds
of
as of looking.
greatness. JD, I know you're gonna fucking hear this, so yes, you better love this episode. To conclude this is Joseph here.
Danny.
Charles.
Vinny.
And Sabrina.
Oh yeah, welcome to the Petty Cash Podcast, by the way. Anyway, this is the Petty Cash Podcast here. So just saying, slow down, chew your food.